September the 2nd. Keithy boy's just greasing up, getting ready. Farmer's got the other trimmer on as well. Got our grass planted last night, but there's one little spot just down on this muck heap. We ran out of grass literally just as we finished the field, so we yeah, it was perfect. It was a lovely job. It will need rolling, but I don't think it'll roll unless it's had a good day drying on it. And it's supposed to shower about, so over by our muck heap was Timothy seed, so we're just going to put some it's not a big area, so I don't need a lot of seed, but I'm just going to go and patch it in while it's dry still, before it showers about today. So this is where we came silaging. What did we have? I think we had, oh, I can't remember. I think there was 60 something with these 3 grass fields. Graham and Martin's there was another 30. Yeah, it wasn't massive bales here, but it was another 2 weeks worth of food for the cows, which is all that matters. You have to unfold your markers to unfold this drill. Anyway, we've just dumped a load of seed in. This is our old muck heap. We had some soil up by the farm there, some beautiful stuff actually. I think it'll be perfect. We power harrowed it 4 or 5 times, and then Davo come and flat rolled it, and now it is ready to drill. It's September the 2nd, so we're well within time. We've got the same grass seed that is actually here, so that's worked out really nice. We were just going to patch it in with what we had on the previous video, but we used exactly what we should have used over there. Really pleased with that. That went in absolutely beautiful. I didn't show you much footage of that. There'll be plenty of drilling videos to come. I just got to remember with this to lock our tram lines when we're doing grass like that. We need to control our max height so we don't knock the PTO shaft when it's spinning. On goes the PTO, up goes the revs. Which one's going to go out? That one, of course it is. Okay. And then on our screen, I don't know why you have to do this every time, but you always have to unlock the timer on it, like that. So now when I press the hydraulic button, it puts the arm down. There we go. We're going to go right across this rough bit. Anywhere that looks a bit thin, we're just going to drill. And fingers crossed it ain't too damp. And we're literally, just like that, over and over we go till we run out of seed. We'll be overseeding by a lot, but we don't mind that. Nice and steady over this rough bit. And we're just scratching the top for grass. You want it laid right on top, in the top inch. You don't want to be any deeper than that. You want to be ½ an inch. So the drill is set right up as high as it can go, near enough, and it'll be a lovely job. We'll come down, flat roll it again then after, once it's dry, maybe later if we get a chance. And it's not a big area, we just keep going backwards and forwards over it till we run out of seed. We'll be done here, and then fingers crossed after we roll it flat, it'll be a beautiful job. There won't be a muck heap here this year, so the muck heap will move. The old seed drill. I can't remember how many seasons this one's done. But if the new one doesn't turn up, it's about to do another one. So just going over a few things. I'll just show you what I do. So every leg, you know, these have got plenty of wear in them now. They shouldn't really move at all, but it will do another season, you know, no problem. It'll do another 2 seasons. There's nothing wrong with it as such. It's just starting to show some signs of wear. But every leg, I like to give them a wiggle. I wiggle the time from here, I'll give that a wiggle, because one, it moves this bit here. Sometimes these need adjusting more than sometimes. Every day I do that. I check the legs, and if you keep them tight, you don't have so many U-bolts break. You will get the U-bolt that sits behind it that ties it to the frame. You'll get that break. So just checking everything over. I'm going to give everything a good grease up. We've done our grass seeds. They're in the good. It's had a good dollop of rain on it today. Not talking inches of rain, but it's had a nice soaking today. I look at the wear on the tine. These are reversible. They're held in by 2 bolts, and the tine holds the leg to the frame of the leg there. So the seed spout, the seed comes out the back here. These are what covers, stops the hole getting blocked up. If you were to happen to accidentally reverse with you should never reverse with the drill in the ground, but if you do, this just stops it from getting gunked up with soil. They just keep the seed coming out in the right place there. I check if there's any movement in there, and if there is, then I tighten those 2 bolts. I check the spring tension. If you've got a dodgy spring, it'll feel loose, it will just go easy. And I've got one underneath, that one there I've got to replace. That has got a broken spring on it. Is it that one or the front there? The front one, you can actually see it. You undo the bolt at the back, undo the bolt, the whole assembly comes off. It's really easy to change. There are some springs, ones that go behind the wheelings, they're on bigger springs altogether, so they've got a bit more tension on them, a bit less give to break up the wheelings on the drill. We're just going to give everything a good once over. Once I've checked the leg over, I check and make sure it's got a seed boot on it. I then check the boot connecting to the drill itself. You want to find these problems now. You don't want to be well into seeding and then have all these things to fix on the day that you're trying to plant some wheat. They put the grass in beautiful. Couldn't have gone in any better. If it was dry now, we'd be out there rolling it flat. So we're a bit stuck. We're stuck with yard jobs for today, so I'm just going to make sure that this thing is ready to go when we need it, and that will keep us busy for the afternoon. This thing it plants in any condition, and we seem to always get above average results from it. Not really much more else to say on it. There's better drills out there if you want controlled depth. There's different drills out there for dry times. There's better, you know. But an all-rounder, you can't go wrong with these things. They're great value for money. They're easy upkeep, easy maintenance, easy to work on. Yeah, you know, you keep them checked over every day, and you don't have that much to do then. But apart from that, yeah, she might have to do another season yet. But it's so nice having a camera that you can see inside the cab, especially just for the job we were doing, grass seeds. It's always sat below the alarm, so you don't want the alarm going off all the time because it's super loud, super annoying. So it's just nice to have a visual camera in there watching it go down the metering wheel, and then when you run out, you know you've run out. You know, you can literally watch the last little bit go down the metering wheel. It's just absolutely lovely to have, and it just saves you jumping out of the cab, running around the back, checking you got seed in there. Yeah, oh, I think I'll do it. Then you've got to do a few more passes. Have I still got seed in there? Jump out again. It just saves all of that, and yeah, having a camera in there last year was just absolute heaven. So anyway, I've got a couple of springs to change. I should check everything else over. I've had a little leak on this ram. These are wheel eradicators. I don't know if we're going to try and drill with them this year. We might go with them this year, and they fit between. When they come down, there's a pipe there with a yellow mark on it. That's the tram lining. Basically, it leaves a mark on the floor for a farmer to see when he's coming with his pre-emergence after we've planted the wheat. That will tell the farmer where to drive, so he doesn't create extra wheelings on the field, and you end up with 2 sets of tram lines, especially in tender conditions. We tried it on my new tractor yesterday. It went on there unbelievably well. Super nice on there. I don't think we need any more air out my tyres. I might have to put some in. These are ultra low pressure tyres. I don't even know what's in there at the minute. I will have to check that before we go. But you want to run them low pressure. They're designed to run low pressure, and the low pressure you run them, the more surface area you have on the floor. So I imagine they're about right for what we got. We're down at the cow field. The old man's just coming down. It's a little bit of a job getting the hay in the rings before the cows swamp you. They just get in the way, and if you put the bales down, they're bunting the bales. Anyway, we've done one lot this morning, but at the moment they don't quite. The moment they hear the tractor, they're going to be over here. But we're just going to do one at a time. Cut the net, pull it off, tip it in. You need 2 people to do it properly, really, because they won't let you in the gate otherwise. So anyway, the old man's on the tractor, 86. Still, I says, do you want to cut the bales or do you want to drive the tractor? I'll drive the tractor. I think this might be the last time you actually have to feed them, because they've got plenty to pick at, if I'm honest. And yeah, we've had a week and a half now of showers. Last night we had a good half-inch of rain come through straight on top of that new layer of grass we've got. Absolutely beautiful. That couldn't be a more perfect job. It's ideal weather. It's the weather we want for a break, you know, getting things growing and getting weeds growing and getting black grass growing across the seed beds. And I think when it comes to drilling, it's going to be this year, I think we're going to be ahead of the game. It's just the rains come at the right time. Keithy and Farmer, they've gone off trimming. They're going down to do all the wetlands, so they're down at Otmore. They're on some arable ground that haven't got headlands. Yeah, they're talking showers, you know, all the way through next week, so we'll see what we get. But in 2 or 3 weeks time, there's barley to go in, and then we'll start on the winter wheat end of September. Shut. Don't want to linger about here. Oh, I'm in the wind again. How do I do that? Chipped in by an expert. He's at home on that Ford. He's got a smile on his face. Here's comes the cows. Hey girls. Oh, I've got to get the gate for him. Oh, I'm in the slush. Watch your head, girls. Well done. Just got to watch you don't drop it on their heads. 19. Beautiful. Hello, girl. Anyway, look at the calves. Lovely job. Nice and easy. All right, girls. Well done. What's it like to be back at work, eh?
You doing 6 weeks with the kids?
I've got a busy life, I told you. You've got stuff all over your butt.
Thanks for that.
Perfect. Yeah, Hazel's had the summer with the kids, 6 weeks with the kids at home. Yeah, some would say she's got the harder job, I don't know. We are, what are we doing? Right, we've got to put Farmer's sprayer back on his tractor. That's one of our jobs. We've got some topping to do. We're going to go and do the runway, and we're going to go and do a lane that one of the lanes to the cow fields. We've also got, I've got to pick out all, I've got to pull these spears out, move the spears. I need to put a spear in these oats. They're our oats. That's what we're going to keep for feed for the winter. I'm going to move the spears forward on the barley just to make sure that that's all been blown nice and evenly. They've been on there a little bit longer than they need to be, but we'll get them moved today. What else? I'm going to put the flail topper on my tractor. I've got to get that on. Yeah, I've got plenty of little jobs. That'll take most of the day. First things first, we want to know what they're blowing like, so I take my shoes and socks off. It gives me a better idea what's going on underneath your feet, and barley horns in your socks are just horrendous. Barley's the worst one to climb, if I'm honest. Oats and far behind that. As I'm climbing up the heap under my feet, I'm always just feeling for any warm spots. Doesn't feel too bad, to be fair. And we just check and see what the fans are blowing like. That one is lovely and cool. Perfect. That is what I want them to blow like. This one, cool as a cucumber. Beautiful. Nice and cool. And oh, perfecto. So they can all be moved. I need to put one in that heap there, two there, and then we'll move one up from there. This will take me a while, so somehow I need to get one over there. I might have to get another extension lead. Yeah, I can make that work. So it doesn't need spears all the way through this heap, but one in the middle will do the trick. And under my feet at the minute, not hot, but I can just feel a little bit of warmth there. It's come down because I climbed this the other day, and it was a bit warmer than that, so I'm relatively happy. But these things are a job on your own, but we'll get it done. And it just makes sure if your grain gets hot, it can if you're thinking of planting this in the spring, which we might do, we might want ton out of it to plant some spring crops. You know, if the weather shuts us down now all the way through till spring, and it has done before on more than one occasion, you know, you got some spring corn here, spring barley, spring oats, you can grow it nice and cheap. Only at home, you can't take this to other farms, fine. But if it gets hot, it can affect germination, so you don't want it getting hot. That's why if you run everything through a dryer, you have to, oh, we've got to get a sample while we're here as well. Good, well remembered. So we'll get a sample for Linda, because Linda's going to go and take a sample and test it for germination. And I think these will be fine. They took a lorry load of these, and what happened there? They were good. They were 50, they were actually better than what I tested them at. I tested them at 50 kilos per hectolitre, and I think they came back as 53. So we were really close with our testing. And all you do is you weigh a litres worth of grain. I literally weigh a jug on some scales, a litre's worth as best as you can. You've got to sort of pat it down because they're a bit of a funny shape, old oats. And we were pretty close, so I was pretty happy. We sort of knew, farmer got a full load on, 29 tonne, I think, 28.8 tonne on there. But you don't want them going hot. If you let grain get hot, you'll get bugs in. That creates mould, and then the heap will start growing. We've seen it last year, so we're just, yeah, we haven't put the fans away this year. We're just going to keep making sure that we've got some air going through it. You know, those grain barns with underfloor heating. You got grain barns with stirrers in that stir backwards and forwards, goes along the barn, moves all the grain. That they're just brilliant, but we haven't got that here, so this is what we got, and this will keep it right. The ones that are in there full time, you can't move them like you can these. So, you know, there's perks and pros and cons to all of it. The ones that you put in, there's ones you put in on a pedestal, and then you move the fans. But you got to have them all the way in, and then they're buggered to tip round. And you know, there's perks and pros and cons to all the different ways. But these work pretty nice for us. Apart from when you get to a barn without electricity, and then you got to start running. Oh, that's in there. Then you got to start running generators and whatnot. Anyway, I'm in the highest point of the heap here. This will be where it gets the hottest because it's the highest. All this will be fine. It'll suck air in. It'll be absolutely perfect. Get a sample while we're here. For Linda, she will get this tested. When you're taking a sample, you do not want to just fill the bag up at the bottom there. You want an average of everything. So I might as well start at the bottom back here, but it's warm under my feet there, so these want to go, the fan wants to go in. So go in, grab a handful, in it goes. Grab a handful, in it goes. Grab a handful. And in the lab they'll grow it. They'll grow 100 seeds in the lab, and then they'll give you a percentage of how many seeds grow out of those 100 seeds, and that gives you your oh god, what is it? I'll put it in the edit. It gives you your rate that the seed is going to grow back at. It usually works out, you know, you want if you get below 90%, you're umming and ahhing. You've got to up your seed rate then by 10% to accommodate the 10% that ain't going to grow. I hope this makes sense. But they're good oats, so I can feel in my hands. They're lovely. But they're Isabel variety. They've done us solid every time we planted her. Nice and cool down there. Take them a big enough sample. They might run 3 trays like that. Right, there we go. Anyway, all new seed coming this year. We've sold all the winter wheat, so we're not going to have any of that to deal with. Yeah, all new seed should be arriving, you know, in the next week or 2. New seed should be arriving. Whew. Right, let's have a look. Not too bad, not too bad. A little bit of warmth there, nothing crazy. Check this one. Nothing crazy, just a tiny bit. And this one. Yeah, same. 2 or 3 days, we can move them again, no worries. Oh, yeah, that one wanted to be in. That one's warm. We're over at, this is one of the lanes that we use down at a place called Otmore. It's wetlands, are all round here is wetlands. Anyway, I don't think last year, well I can tell we didn't, but this is one of the lanes that farmers use to gain access to their fields. Not just us, other farmers in the area as well. But we like to keep these lanes where they should be. So Farmer and Keithy are down here somewhere. They'll be trimming all these hedges back. It's a council job, believe it or not. They should be maintaining it, but they never do. And if we left it to them, the lane would close up. These are all walkers lanes. These are on the footpath and stuff like that. So everybody sort of benefits from it, but it's always our job to come out and maintain them and keep the hedges where they are supposed to be. Not everybody agrees with us on that one, but they don't appreciate that if we just left this for 2 or 3 years, it will get to the point where they couldn't walk down here anyway. So, but this sort of job, you know, some farmers in the area, they'll have a go as well. You know, I like to think that everybody should have a little go here and there, and we all stay on top of it. Most farmers in the area are pretty good. You know, they'll everybody lends a hand. Feels like we seem to do more than most, but we're not going to quibble about that. We use the area a lot. Just pick that up a little bit where it's going down, but yeah, the lane is a little bit all over the place. It could do with some leveling out, but we actually don't use this end very much, but it's an access point into the area, so if you want to get in this way, we want to have it clear so we can get in. So Keithy and Farmer will be trimming the hedges back and making sure that tractors can come down here, and we can gain access to the various bits and pieces of land. So we like to, I don't think we managed to do it last year. I thought, well, I'm pretty sure 100% we didn't. We just, it just flooded out on us. So anyway, We do the bulk of it with the topper here. Farmer and Keithy, they will come down and do the hedges and anywhere we can't reach with a topper. Davo's already had a go down here one night this week, so he's done a lot of it for us. But it's important to keep these lanes open, not only for us, just for the walkers, for anybody who wants to use it. So, but it is, you know, it's supposed to be a council job, this, but they don't do it, just like they don't do the verges and they don't do anything else properly. But we're not going to start on that conversation. That'll lead us down a path of about 4 hours long and we won't get anywhere anyway. Anyway, it'll look tidy after we're done. We'll go up one way, we'll come back the other. We're going to go up and do the runway quickly as well while we've got the topper on. And yeah, I'm quite, this job ain't too bad. Just got to stay on top of everything. You're always lifting and lowering it to you know, so you don't catch the floor and whatnot. You don't want to catch the rocks and that. Don't feel like I've achieved a lot today. Got farmer's sprayer on, that's all on, connected, ready to go, so he's happy. Took the front box off, don't need that on at the minute. No point carrying that around for fun, and yeah, it sticks so far at the front. I love having it on there because it's extra space, but it sticks so far at the front. I want one of them compact ones that are hung up on the, you know, when the linkage is all folded up, it hangs up like that. Anyway, that's another day's project. But this is our side topper. Does a beautiful job. Grass verges. We can get right down some of the banks that the boys would have to do with the hedge trimmers, and with the weather being the way it is at the minute, I've got plenty of field work to get on with. Yeah, we've got a couple, 4 days of field work, probably more than that. We've got a good week of field work, but it ain't gonna let us do it for the next couple of weeks, so we might as well be doing something useful, taking some time off them hedge trimmers, giving the boys a hand. We've got a couple of verges we want to do with it. It's yeah, you've got to remember your grease points on the roller, that's going all the time. Your shaft needs doing every 2 or 3 days, depending on what sort of days, 2 big days or 3 little days. You've got grease points on all the folding parts. This thing goes, yeah, it's all adjustable, so you can stick it right out, you can change the angle of the head. It's a lovely tool. It's just a bugger to get on. That shaft, well, look at me, I'm bloody covered head to toe in bloody, oh man, it is an absolute pain in the butt. You have to take it off with the shaft straight, so you can't fold it all in, otherwise you just literally have to have 2 telehandlers to pull the shaft out. But it's a lovely tool once it's on and all going. Other than that, she's pretty simple. 2 spools, one for out and back in, and then this one here is for that big ram that lifts the headstock up and down. It runs in float most of the time. Literally put it on the bank, the end runs in float, and then you match your arms to govern how it all runs. So it's actually really nice and easy to use. Once you get the hang of it, you can do some really you can do some really nice cuts with it. Anyway, I got to grease it up, and this is going to be tomorrow's job now. I ain't going out now with it, but get it greased up, ready for tomorrow, and we'll go and do some topping.